by His Excellency the President when he inaugurated our board and gave us our marching orders. And so we have decided that as a board and management, we will step out of the headquarters and visit our regions and have some discussions, deliberations with our major stakeholders. And one of the major stakeholders are the traditional authorities, the cocoa farmers themselves, the cooperatives, our cocoa board staff workers, the regional coordinating council, the metropolitan, municipal, and district assemblies. So we set out last week. We went to the Oti region, we came to Volta region, and today we are in Bono region. We paid a courtesy call on the chief and outlined some of the policies that the government has outlined for the sustenance and the growth of the cocoa industry. And we highlighted a few of them. One is that His Excellency the President has charged us to go into large-scale commercial plantation. So we are trying to talk to the chiefs and then solicit their support in terms of the release of lands for these plantations, which we will be doing it in partnership with the private sector. And no land tenure system has always bedeviled the smooth takeoff of such programs. So once the chiefs get the buy-in, it will help us. We also highlighted the fact that His Excellency the President has decided that the Cocoa Board should establish a scholarship for tertiary students who are cocoa farmers' children. And so that one is also being rolled out. A committee has been set out and they are working on it. Again, we have had challenges with smuggling of cocoa across the borders, especially in this part of the country, the Côte d'Ivoire border, where they do a lot of smuggling of our cocoa. And it is having effect on us because the government invests a whole lot of money. This year alone, about 5.8 billion Ghana cedis is going to be invested in procurement of pesticide, fertilizer, fungicide, spraying machines and others to support the cocoa farmers. After all this investment, the expectation is that the cocoa will be sold back to Cocoa Board for us to for the nation to derive benefit from it. If you allow such cocoa to be transported beyond the borders of the country to Côte d'Ivoire, then you are depriving the country and the taxpayers' money is being whittled away. So this and many others is what has brought us here. Again, from the palace, we have engaged the Regional Security Committee, RECSEC, and the various municipal and district security committees on ways that we can use to combat the smuggling and reduce it to the barest minimum. We also do distribution of our inputs by the CODAPEC, and we want to forge closer collaboration with the district assemblies and the Regional Coordinating Council and the traditional authorities and the cooperatives to ensure that the input that we supply to the farmers will not find its way back into the market, which deprives the cocoa farmer this very valuable input. So this and many others have been discussed at RECSEC. Strategies have been mapped out to stem the smuggling and also to ensure that our cocoa inputs are put to good use to help us to realize the full benefit of the investment that we make in them. Well, you see, if you go to Côte d'Ivoire and buy cocoa there, the Côte d'Ivoire farmer is not benefiting from free fertilizer. It's not benefiting from free insecticides and pesticides. It's not benefiting from free spraying exercise. It's not benefiting from cocoa rows. And all this is done from the process of the cocoa that we sell. And so it cannot just be equalized. If we decide to equalize, then it means you are going to deprive the farmers for all these benefits. And if you deprive the farmers of these benefits, it will not sustain the cocoa industry. And so it is not just as easy as just going to, equalize price. That is why we are telling the farmers that the benefit that they derive in the producer price of cocoa that Ghana has is paying them far outweighs if they smuggle it out. And indeed, if they smuggle it out, what it means is that they are rather supporting the Côte d'Ivoire economy against the Ghana economy. And it will affect their children and their communities and the nation as a whole. Seeing the farmers is that if you sell your cocoa farm for galamsey purpose, you will get some money within a year, 2 or 3. But I know that the Tetekwashi cocoa farm in Mampong is still in existence and it's still fruiting. I know my own old man farm, which is over 30 years, and we are still plucking cocoa from it. But as a Galamsey person, that in the next 1 year or 2 years, we will get it. Again, we have also decided that the cocoa tree itself is not a protected tree. You cannot go to your farm and then say that there's a doom tree or wawa tree or front tree, I'm going to fell it. You have to get permit from forestry. So there is a law that we are reviewing, the PNDC law 81 of 1985. We believe that it has lived its usefulness. And we have now placed a bill before Parliament for a new cocoa law to be established. And so under that law, the cocoa tree is going to be a protected tree. And that if you want to cut the cocoa tree, you need permission before you do it. And if we are able to do that, we'll be able to protect the cocoa tree and be able to sustain the cocoa industry and protect the legacy that.
But say, when I am board chairman,
yeah,
if I could manage it, if you say, you will be, you do what you,
yeah,
I said you will need pursue a city. And a home brassier,
yeah,
Mr. Dossio, no ma.
yeah.
Nti ma me gidi se ikoko nsensema atete apansam no se wabesumi ebeyeye
I saw.
na me gidi se obekoso so ahwe amana yeye
Sa.
adu mpempenso bi a yenyi ne beti di ensese ebu akase ampaga na koko nie.
Yeah.
Me manya one die me wonsem be fuwa be mienu ana miensa bi ayesem so me de tu wani.
Yeah, I saw.
Na ona ada adwuma ya no die na wo hokwan fa so abetoto no.
Yeah.
Yedi kan pa mpese meka ho asem na osan yi bo aban mu yi.
Yeah.
Eye Galamsey sem.
Yeah.
Na ebi ananipa atwahia ananipa etimi ennim nsunsanso a Galamsey na edeba.
Sabe.
Na me ado matena buchi kakra.
Yeah.
Mmiri bi atwam na ye hu ye chocolate, ye hu ye cocoa.
Yeah.
Na eyi obi anije so pese onom.
Yeah.
And so enne so come word market abom say I say Spanish for no omo take you over.
Yeah.
Ni na ye cocoa kwan ya fa so a Galamsey ne led ne noma e cocoa nim.
Asa.
So twa kra ni cocoa no kwan ni ni nyina.
Yeah.
Na so twa cocoa so ntimeka cocoa de.
Yeah.
Wadaroma odi owo soro hoyi na o san da cocoa no afiri asase mu na ebai mo maye mo ye homode.
Yeah.
Na oni Eurashia ona two vice president for.
Yeah.
Adi bia ebetima ye bia tu Galamsey ase no mo maye mo ye homode na yutu.
I saw.
If you say nyina ase enim no adi ani enim aye cocoa pe.
Yeah.
Good yenye na ba asase so.
Dabi.
Nti na afidi ye di good sensem ayem fa kwan papa so a ese ye no ma nyina.
Yeah.
Mumi ni hunduma.
Yeah.
Me de sele da bia meka no me be fa akunya maka kire nyese good ni sunwan yo.
Yeah.
Enso maka kire obia me hini bia se da me ba beto say obi de pikas abo wasase so utu good da na metu.
Asa.
If se nya Galamsey nkon de betima me ayi.
Sa.
Na yintu Galamsey mre bia kom so na so ye adwuma.
Sa.
Na yintu Galamsey na so na ye ma me mokọ afum e de hweye. Na afidi e pesa minkum nya a ne nipa aduri so ye pesa nya ye ho.
Yeah.
E chen wiase na ye wom na na a ye sense ase e se ye mfuduane e se ye nsu a ye nwiri nchirima ho.
Yeah.
Tade ba ko pa e da makoma so pesa mo hwe na mo kana na mo ho.
Yeah.
Na yintimi ntu saa ade ya abeyi nkuda aba abeda ye ho.
Asa.
Eto so bio okasa okase opese kokoi itimi nya metric tons bi.
Yeah.
Bia eye ya nkasa ye de hye Europe ni odi koduro so de duro ho.
Yeah.
Ya da wase so obeye ni saa. Na so so emre du se mo maya so so cocoa no yes yetimi dodo na no broni beka say yes yetimi processing okuro yi mu
Yeah.
if you say garamse nsensem a ye kan
Yeah.
say akrachefo a omawi school ene mranti omawi school
Yeah.
ene se bi ompo manko school no so mo wadwuma ya
Yeah.
nka megiri say ekebia ano bebrase
Sir.
na se de waso nim no aduaba bienu ahoso won fa so chen cocoa
Sir.
ema wiase ene yemponti turu Ghana fo
Yeah.
Because cocoa no ma bibiri film
Sir.
obenya petasium
Yeah.
obenya bibibia ndi say yetimi ama production no say ye process na adoso wo ye haya
Sir.
me dwen say ebeboa na ka emrantie ene mmaya anya adwumaye
Yeah.
ebi say ebasa na de na wo de wani sigaram se so wo ye mamboni wo ye wadwen sa asase na abese no
Sir.
me yetimi anya bi ne waka ma asema to so bi wa mpese me de tu anim
Yeah.
adwempa bi a wo bia boa se kokoo no koso no me oje amansan besom
Yeah.
amana du ba bi se du bia
Yeah.
nanso so esa mo so mo boa ye
Sir.
se o hwe bono se sia o hwe bono ha ya
Sir.
untimi nya kwan papa bi ebitimi de kokoo afiri ho aba
David.
nanso so untimi nka kokoo asem na unyi bono mfirim
David.
wadaroma enim se mo ya kwan
Sir.
mo moye na ya kwan nyeyi
Yeah.
na utu mrantie ne mmaya afo se omumfo mo ho hyekwayim fo mo ho hye kokoo duama
Yeah.
wanya ni daso efiri se kokoo no kra bedo obewie
Yeah.
ka kra ba befa ne be ya asem efiri se kwan enye tidu tama moya mo twamani na mo hweye
Yeah.
na ya kwan atete apansam enim se wabai obenya da ajafa bona fontwiro nwum kakra
Sir.
obefa bono ntwiro nwum kakra obehu ekwan pa ya nam so
Sir.
so o ka de bae no o de koba ne tim du bedru sunwan bi wa ne da na na mase so mo do wakwa ba
No.
akwan ne nye ti mo moye na yintimi nya ya akwan yi
Yeah.
o kan scholarship yewura ya hu bi da wo ne no fa do kokoo san zo fi obi anya scholarship da scholarship ne de beba asma make on about ya see so e domani na is your board member na me no so na nanti bibre ye adwuma che scholarship de bi ye ba na say ya akuafo ma na nkasa benya scholarship na ya asem foforo be da se pa so maye ne sa
We are honored to announce that we have completed the investigation in respect of contractual arrangements involving Ministry of Finance, MOF, Ghana Revenue Authority, GAR, and Strategic Mobilization Ghana Limited, SML, and we are pleased to share our conclusions with the public. And owing to the immense national interest attached to the case and the persons involved, we are going to go into a little bit more detail than we usually do. So please pardon us, this is important. In a written complaint dated 18 December 2023 and addressed to the Special Prosecutor by Evans Eziamo Mensah, Ajua Adubia Owusu, and Manasseh Azuri Awuni, journalists with the Fourth Estate, a non-profit investigative journalist project of Media Foundation for West Africa, the complainants petitioned the OSP to investigate contracts between MOF, GRA, and SML for possible corruption and a breach of the Procurement Act. The Special Prosecutor, upon determining that the complaint was within the mandate of the OSP, promptly authorized relevant officials of the OSP to commence preliminary investigation into the matter in accordance with Regulation 51B of LI 2374. The preliminary investigation was conducted with as little intrusion into the privacy of individuals and the business operations of corporate entities as the circumstances permitted. Presidential intervention. Following extensive media coverage on what had become known as the SML scandal, the President of the Republic, by a letter dated 29 December 2023, appointed KPMG Ghana, KPMG, an audit, tax, and advisory services firm, to audit within 2 weeks a transaction between GRA and SML, The President stated the following as KPMG's terms of reference. A, conduct an audit to ascertain the rationale on needs assessment performed prior to the contract approval by GERA and assess how the arrangement aligns with specific needs. Assess the appropriateness of the contracting methodology, verifying compliance with legal standards and industry best practices in the procurement process for the selection of SML. Evaluate the degree of alignment between current activities and the stipulated contract scope, identifying any deviations. Evaluate the value or benefits that SML has so far offered to GR through its engagement. Review the financial arrangements, including pricing structures, payment terms, and the resolution of any financial compliance issues. And finally, submit a report on your findings on the above together with appropriate recommendations. On 2 January 2024, the Director of Communications at the Jubilee House released a press statement informing the public of the KPMG appointment, and also that the President had directed the suspension of the performance of the SML contracts pending the submission by KPMG of the audit report. By a letter dated 2 January 2024, the Chief of Staff at the Presidency transmitted the President's directive of the suspension of the performance of the SML contracts to the Commissioner General of GRA, the KPMG report. KPMG submitted its audit report to the President on 27 March 2024 with the following key findings. 1, that there was no specifically commissioned and purpose needs assessment report, except standalone industry analysis and reports which were issued post the contracting of SML. 2, SML was initially contracted by GRA without the required approval of the Public Procurement Authority, PPA. 3, there was no evidence of the required parliamentary approval for the award of multi-year contracts to SML. 4, there was no evidence that the 2018 and 2019 contracts awarded to SML were effected with the required consideration and approval of the GRA board. 5, GRA did not institute monitoring and evaluation processes to assess the performance of SML in respect of transaction audit services. 6, SML delivered partially on the transaction audit services, and GRA may not have obtained all the expected benefits from the service. 7, SML delivered partially on the external price verification services, and GRA may not have obtained all the expected benefits from the service. 8, in respect of measurement audit for downstream petroleum, there was reported incremental volume that is attributable to the involvement of SML determined at 1.70 billion liters for the period, which translates to incremental revenue of 2.45 billion cedis attributable to the involvement of SML. 9, in respect of upstream petroleum audit, SML was yet to deploy and implement its system to commence operations at the time of the KPMG review, and that activities toward implementation have been halted following the President's directive to suspend the performance of the contract. And 10, SML was yet to commence measurement audit of the minerals sector at the time of the KPMG review. On the back of their key findings, KPMG offered the following relevant resolution options by way of recommendations. First, they said the Consolidated Assurance Revenue Services contract signed in October 2023 presented complexities, including legal and cost value concerns that needed.
And thank you so much for joining us here this morning on Inside Pages from our studios here at Reach in Accra. This is the Queer Boy Mass Studio. We are very live and loud on Facebook, on YouTube, on X, on Twitter, and Instagram at Metro TV Ghana, and also at Metro TV GH. You can also catch us also streaming on Metro TV Online, live as well on 94.1 FM. Just tune in 94.1 FM and listen to your favorite Saturday morning, analysis show here on Metro TV. Don't go nowhere. I mean, the show has only begun. We just began the show here, and I pray that you stay with us from now till 10 a.m. where we bring you conversations that has to do with, nation building. Just so we usher you into discussions that probably you may have just missed, or even if you didn't miss it, give you more insight on what exactly these issues really are. We'll be looking at a number of issues here this morning with our guest who will be joining us soon. I'll be introducing them to you very soon. But let me quickly give you a quick look into what exactly the discussions for this morning will be centered on. We are looking at three key things here this morning. Three key things here this morning. And the first one that I'll be looking at here on the program this morning, we are looking at Ken Ofori-Atta and the SML scandal. And also NIMO's attack, where one person, a member of NIMO's, was recorded to have, lost their life following an attack in this week. And also the anti-LGBTQ legislation in Ghana, where the president, John Dramani Mahama, says when the bill is taken to Parliament and Parliament, reviews it and gives the nod, they will surely pass it. And so he will be on standby to be given the legislation once it goes through the process in Parliament, and he will assent to it. What exactly does this mean for his government and the rest of the country? And so these are going to be our three topics here this morning on the show. So I'm going to entreat you to stay with us here on the program. When we come back from this quick turn, the show will begin, and my guest will be introduced to you as well. So with that, I'm going to work. This is Inside Pages, and I am Bryce Nanakwesi Amenin. Thank you so much for joining us.
Chia winning Nara, me ding edge baby dapa, me dear strong cran ebremo. Now the 20 animal would be an egg, Japan, me de bremo. And no, any summer spices. Summer spices in here, and wow, no mebreo, various flavors. Ubenya a yako, Ubenya nemchi, you do good jollof woman, and we yet dead. Ubenya you do quam, you do for you, hot nako pibito. Na Emma with Gianni, and yet dead. When you mean ya, young con your cocoa now for Eka.
Down with your communication, we all enjoy Uduba, that Samu spices. What in the essence, don't fight. I should take it that Yaga. Samu spices in a Sabi, Daddy so say. Samu spices, Moon Samu.
Samu spices, Yaba chicken.
Samu spices. In Sanaka in Kitswa, measure 10 grams. Yawa chicken, spaghetti, garlic and ginger, stew, and jollof, and the flavors Alpha Bebre.
Samu spices, yes, Saka.
FDRJ Jadien Kratoyatum.
Wabedum, Tamaso. Hey, J. Watch it, na learning. Missy, watch and learn. Makwema Besisia. Abozig. I can say no, ya konati, and the more drink woman. Hey, but I didn't mean. Oh, sorry. She knew her old days. Eddie, Dabio, baby womb. Ready? Hey, baby womb. Ah, Eddie, I'll cause some discomfort. Ah. Sorry, well, uncle, where would the dad? Why your funeral?
Say a Pesori insecticide GB at a user. For pharmacy in a shop biamu. Na mum say a pharmacy supermarket and a shop ra. Na repedudu to a cotonwa. On for Royal Dutch and our Aerofield Trading. If he spray with daimwa. Chase.
Kwame and his uncle are almost here.
Wait a minute. This one too, your friend Kwame.
Wait, Kwame. As in the same Kwame again?
Yes, Mommy.
I'm the second coming. Into all this tension just to reintroduce that broke boy from Kaswa.
Why would you deceive the family like this again?
Now I understand the whole delay. Troll from Kaswa. Why wouldn't he be late? Or be later?
Of course.
Star 712 hash, star 712 hash. You go feel the luckiest. Go feel from Georgia be luckiest. From not the cause she be luckiest. Yeah, you go feel be luckiest. No matter why you're luckiest. Everybody go feel be that luckiest.
That's Kwame.
Send your God up boom. If you put it so would the coming of the Son of Man be.
Hey.
Is that his car?
Ha! Even now, your shadow the way designer.
I use my own mouth to reject him. Oh, this is my mouth. Look at that.
Kwame, my son. Now, tell me the truth. How did this all happen?
Oh, mommy, simple direction. Mr. Goodluck no check me way.
Yeah,
man.
Easy car. Or dial star 712 hash.
The devil is a liar.
He picked his ticket and entered his lucky 5-digit number.
How much birthday?
Oh, how romantic!
And he followed the prompts. Yes, and then boom, confirmation test.
One quick, pick 5 numbers for me, okay? I'm feeling like 7.
Dial star 712 hash. Choose your ticket. Enter your lucky number. Follow the prompt and let destiny handle the
You see how they love you now?
Yo, they are family famous seminar. Before December, may release a motivational album. Patapa, my super.
This promotion is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas platform.
In a world where security is paramount, peace of mind should be a necessity and not a luxury. This is why Virtual Security Africa has created a special discount package up to 40% on all our CCTV systems. We are more affordable now than ever. With as low as 4,000 Ghana cedis, you can get 4 high-definition cameras, 3 terabyte hard drive, cables, and a digital video recorder. Why choose us? Because we offer top-tier quality you can trust, lifetime after-sale support, 2 years warranty, and you can view our systems remotely. Sidinua Peke. Spend less, secure more. Call us on 055-874-0764 and 050-331-4068. Virtual Security Africa. We will beat the advertised price of any security product of comparable quality.
West Africa's soil yields global treasures. Cocoa, cashew, shea, and cotton. They power industries across the world. Yet for our region, the greatest value still slips away, exported raw, taking with it jobs, industries, and the promise of shared prosperity. The real question is no longer what we produce, but who captures the final reward. True prosperity lies in the value we add right here at home. That's why the 4th edition of the EBIT President's Roundtable will gather the architects of Africa's prosperity and Africa's transformation to answer one defining question: how do we finance the journey from the farm to the port? Join Dr. George Ejekum Donko and some leading experts as EBIT leads a high-level dialogue to unlock financing, empower local industries, and turn West Africa's raw potential into industrial power. Be part of the conversation redefining our economic future, live on Metro TV, DSTV Channel 277, and EBIT platforms on November 24, 2025 at 11 a.m. EBIT President's Roundtable 2025, from the farm to the port, financing the value chains of West Africa's cash crops. My name is Anita Erskine, and it will be an honor to host you.
You're welcome back, and thank you for staying with us here from that break. We are locked down here in Metro TV. Our studio here at Regional Crowd in Kwiabwa studio. I told you earlier, we are very live and loud across all social media platforms: on Facebook, on YouTube at Metro TV Ghana, on X, and on Instagram at Metro TV GH. We also stream live on metrotvonline.com on our website. Go on there. Either you want to listen on via 94.1 or you want to watch it online, we are there as well. And just like I told you just now, and we're also live on 94.1. And so in case you're living home and you still want to catch up what is happening here on the show, you probably may just want to tune in either on your phone or in your car and still follow the conversation here. But don't forget to send us your messages. Join our conversations across all the platforms and let's communicate, contribute, and let's know what you think. We are trying to build a good nation together. And so I'm honored to be doing this for you this morning, and hopefully Moro should be back. Moro should be back next week. You know he's waking up Saturday morning, so I hope he comes back quickly. And I've been joined in the studio by an all-time friend who I wasn't expecting to see this morning, even though I saw the name, but I didn't know it was him. Very interested. And so Richard Suma, he's the Deputy General Secretary for the United Party, with their founder and leader, Alan Kojo Tremantin. He's here in the studio. Good morning, Richard. Good morning, Brian. Isn't it an interesting,
yes,
an interesting day this morning?
When I woke up.
No, it's fine.
When I woke up this morning, you were the last person I could think of seeing this morning. But fortunately, I've seen you, and you have progressively made yourself good. And I appreciate the good work you are doing. You've been able to develop, sincerely. You've evolved a lot.
Thank you.
And I must appreciate and commend you for that.
You'll get there.
Yes.
I'm actually happy seeing you this morning.
Yes.
I mean, I was telling you earlier, and seeing you also as a part of the UP party opposition.
Yes.
He's a big man. You're a very big man. You're a big man.
I'm certainly just
so he's a Deputy General Secretary of the United Party.
Yes, interim. To build a political party from the very basis, there is no way you have an album from the very inception of the party. So you must appoint or nominate interim leaders, people to occupy various interim positions. So we have people who are at the national level. We've just finished constituting our regional leadership. We are zeroing into the constituencies, then to the communities. So once you have the structure, then you'll be able to meet the final eligibility request of the Electoral Commission to enable you get your full certificate as a political party. So we are in the process of building a party which is going to be a party of choice. A party that is going to position itself to become very more attractive to Ghanaians. Because like I have always maintained that building a nation is a collective responsibility of all and sundry. It shouldn't be cast in stone that this country can only be governed by NDC or NPP. Nevertheless, NPP and NDC were not the parties that fought for our independence, for which we are all benefiting from today. Others laid the foundation. They gravitated towards politics and democracy, and today they are the ones having the opportunity to govern. But should any other political party emerge and put this house in order and work diligently and be able to create a good image for themselves, and build a party that is devoid of acrimony, devoid of insult, devoid of selfishness, putting Ghana first above individual interests, many may gravitate towards us. Many may align with our vision. Since we are positioning ourselves as a centrist party, we sincerely believe that many will align with our vision, and they can join us to see, if possible, that we can dislodge any of the two main political parties to make it more competitive, for them to know that they cannot take this country for a ride, because we are well awake and watching them with keen interest.
Also, a quick one right there. Some breaking news coming in is that there's a fire outbreak here in Accra, Wija, right behind the imprisoned Agrades Church.
Oh, really?
Yes,
I just passed by that.
Just behind the church. There's a fire outbreak there, so we pray that the Ghana National Fire Service, they're able to get there quickly to help them, douse the fire.
Then I'm sure it just started, because I passed by this morning.
Yes.
I'm coming from West Hillmore direction.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't see the fire.
I think it just happened, because this is breaking.
Yeah.
It just happened.
Then you must be very up with time.
Exactly,
A quick breaking news like that.
Yes. We are trying to connect with a gentleman there who is actually going to give us all the details, what actually happened and what is happening, if the fire service has already come to the place. If not, we are praying that at least they get to hear us and they go there and help them, douse the fire. Because a fire break on a Saturday morning like this, we hope lives are safe. And also joining me here this morning is Member of Parliament for Sisala Sisala East, my very
the big man,
good friend. My
big man.
My very good friend and big brother, I must say, Honorable Bataglia Issa Mohammed. You know, I like to mention the name a lot. Battaglia. It comes with a certain oomph.
Yeah, Battaglia.
Yes.
Kind of a warrior's name.
Yes, Battaglia.
Exactly.
I've never even bothered to ask you what it means.
Yeah, it means compact.
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 And then you are really heavy.
Battaglia, they are compact.
Compact.
I'm a very compact person.
It's obvious. He's also joining us here this morning on the show as well. He was here last week. Yeah. And just again here this morning for a conversation. We are hoping that the rest of the panelists will be here as well from the MPP and also join us here this morning for a good conversation, a healthy conversation. You know, we are trying to get all members from all angles join us here this morning on the show. Let's begin this morning conversation with our first topic where we take a look at Kennedy. Kennedy, I just saw Kennedy on your phone. Ken Ofori-Atta and the office of the OSP. Also with the SML scandal. You know, this week has been busy for the OSP. If you go on their Facebook page, you know, publishing faces, mug shots of persons who they fingered to be involved in a number of, you know, corruption activities. And we're going to be giving those pictures as we move on. But it's been really, really busy for him. Now, the big question people are asking is, first of all, is it even necessary to have these people who are yet to be, you know, who are yet to be judged by the courts as guilty, have their pictures on their display like that in that manner? And also, what is happening? Why has the extradition of the former finance minister taken so long? I mean, he has provided a very fair explanation as to why it has delayed. But for both gentlemen here in the studio, what do you make of it quickly? Let me begin with you, Honorable.
Well, Bright, before I start, I will first want to express my gratitude to you and my good brother here, Richard, mostly recognizing the fact that I am here because some people gave me the honor to come and serve, and that's the people of Sisala East. May I use this wonderful platform this Saturday morning to express my gratitude by greeting everybody there, starting from the chiefs, the women, we had departmental heads, the clergy, everybody, young, old, children, everybody in Sisala East for the support they've been giving us so far. We pray that God Almighty Allah should see us through. Well, after having said this, I also want to seize this opportunity once again to express my condolence on behalf of my people to Dr. Kalisus Muhammad. Today is the mother's funeral in Salga. We wish to have been there to all support him, but I'm sure quite a number of people are there to physically support him. We are here and also supporting the family and him in spirit. Yeah, so we, as a country, have been faced with quite a lot of things. One of such is the SML, which started as SMEL, Strategic Mobilization Enhancing Limited, that transmogrified or transformed into SML in 2017. And I think that quite a number of transactions happened that sought to raise some eyebrows about issues of conflict of interest or using political office for self-benefit. And I think as we try as much as possible. Governance should be guided against individuals' interests overriding the national interest. And as per our constitution, you know, Article 35, Clause 8 clearly indicated that government should do everything possible to eradicate issues of corruption and eradicate as well as abuse. And we have, in this spirit, also enacted laws, even in 2016, that Public Financial Management Act, trying to regulate how things are done. Even if you are going to go for multi-year commitment, there's a process you have to go through by getting the approval of Parliament and many other things. So in that particular transaction, I'm sure issues came up, right from ISE, we are talking about Manasa Azure, we are talking about OSP, all of them have fingered out issues about irregularities relating to capacity, lack of capacity, false claims, and many other things. It is those things that put together that they think that some particular individuals, including the former finance minister, Honorable Ken Ofori-Atta, to answer questions. But unfortunately, we are still battling with this. But most Ghanaians felt that no, this thing should have been nipped in the bud long before now. Because if you are considering the amount of monies that are have leaked through this process of a revenue assurance contract with Ghana Revenue Authority is quite an unfortunate thing. And now people are becoming quite impatient with the modus operandi of what the OSP, thinking that he himself has been talking more and doing less in terms of action. And even this morning coming here, I overheard some other people calling for demonstrations against his removal from the office. But in all of this, I think that we have to create a country that makes sure that whatever little that we have goes to the benefit of the majority of Ghanaians. And that's what we should be doing, because if you look at the amounts of monies involved, even to the extent that people are talking about over 100 million with it annually or something dollars, that's not small monies.
Yes.
So far, they have been able to indicate about 1.4 billion Ghana cedis. That's a huge amount of money that we are struggling as a country, even going out to borrow, throwing our hands in the air, or holding a bowl around the country, around the world, begging for one support to the other. Clearly, I think that whatever that it takes for anybody, once you are a Ghanaian, you've been given a public office to serve, and you've gone against the laws of this country, should be brought to book. But that should be done according to the laws of the country. I think that we have set up for ourselves laws that govern us. And wherever somebody faults our law, the law should be allowed to take its course. We believe in the principle of rule of law and no rule of man. And if Ken Ofori-Atta has faltered in the way, he should be made to answer questions, be it close or far. So for me, I am in sync with most Ghanaians who are also saying that yes, if he's been fingered out with many other the former commissioners of GRA, I think that they should allow the law to take its course. Because they always tried bringing him back to Ghana to answer these questions or give an explanation to him, to some of these issues. He gave a number of promises but could not turn up. But now the conversation is that he could even be tried absentia, and that is the angle the OSP is going. So people said that if this is the if you could have done this, why did you wait this long? In any case, even now, information coming out indicated that yes, he was a bit aware the leaving of Ken Ofori-Atta from this country, which they thought that he could have stopped it. So for me, I think that yes, people who have robbed this country should be made to pay according to the laws.
Right. Richard, he says people who have robbed the country should be made to pay, which I believe every single Ghanaian may want to, not do that. Because, when the public funds or public fares is illegally, used, it becomes a problem, not just for the government, but for every single person. Because once there's no money, prices go up, salaries are not paid, you feel it in your pocket regardless. But here's the case where we have the former Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta, who actually filed for his name to be taken off the Interpol list. But according to the OSP, it has not completely been removed. Now, do you think Ken Ofori-Atta knows exactly what the issue is, and that he's just not willing to come to the country? Because initially we were told that he had gone there for medical reasons and all that, and he actually came back to say that he had not he hasn't run, and that the OSP actually knows where he is and all that, and going further to even request that his name is taken off the Interpol list and all that. When you put all this together, all these pieces together, what goes through your mind?
Well, first of all, I would like to say a very good morning to all your cherished viewers, to say a good morning to the Honorable MP that I'm seeing him for the first time on any platform. It's a privilege to share this noble platform with you this morning, and to your good self. Like I've indicated earlier, you are doing extremely well, and may you keep it up. And to the entire leadership of the United Party, the founder, we not trying to build a party around Alan. He doesn't want that. So we're building the party on structure. So our chairman, Boniface, and to our general secretary, Yaobuabian Samoa, and to all the other position holders at national and regional level, I will extend my warm wishes to them this morning. Now, to the substantive issue, I and others are of the school of thought that the Office of the Special Prosecutor has outlived its youthfulness, and therefore it has to be scrapped entirely because it is becoming a waste of public resources. We cannot continue to keep an office that is not living up to its expectation and only come to the fore when there are issues that seems to make others believe that they are not functioning enough, they are not prosecuting enough, they are not doing so much enough. Then all of a sudden they trigger all manner of processes, sometimes in an attempt to hoodwink us into believing that they are actually doing some work. But in all honesty, the Office of the Special Prosecutor is not serving us any purpose as far as our desire to combat corruption or to mitigate corruption is concerned.
So is that you saying that it's almost as good as nothing? It has to
obviously, and let me give you a breakdown of why I'm saying so. We have constitutionally mandated institutions which are supposed to be up and doing. They have prosecutorial powers, especially the Office of the Attorney General. And if you look at the plethora of institutions that we have that have similar overriding responsibilities of combating or investigating corruption-related activities, they have become too many. If you see, we have IOCO, we have Shiraj, we have OSP, we have Bureau of National Investigative Bureau, we have CID, and we have all manner of agencies that are supposed to be fighting corruption or investigating corrupt-related crimes against the state. And if you look at the structure of the Constitution, it is supposed to be the National Investigative Bureau that is mandated to be able to investigate all sensitive cases that happens in this country. That's why when you go to the United States of America, they all have other agencies, but when it comes to investigation, creme de la creme investigations, no matter what challenges others face, it is often being held by the Federal Bureau of Investigation. So we are of the school of thought that the National Investigative Bureau should be expanded, should be well equipped enough, should be well resourced enough, should be the primus inter pares institution when it comes to investigative crime, because it's a state agency. And most of you realize that even appointing people to occupy the high position of the National Investigative Bureau doesn't have any political underpinning. Doesn't seem to be a political interest organization. Therefore, we believe that this is a state agency, a state arm of our security architecture that is mandated and supposed to be working in investigating all manner of corruption. When they establish any element of crime or any element of suspicion or any element, as the legal people call it, prima facie case, they then now transfer that information to the Office of the Attorney General. Then the Office of the Attorney General would then now look at the merit of the investigation and trigger a prosecution against those individuals. So when it happens in that case, you equally also have to expand the Office of the Attorney General. That is why we have students that are graduating from the law faculty, students that are graduating from Makola, people of this nature, especially those who are even pursuing LLB, they should have sufficient amount of them working in the Office of the Attorney General. When that happens, they augment the work of the Attorney General to lessen the burden on them in order to make sure that every case that is brought before them, they are able to do what? Pay significant attention to it. Why are we saying that the Office of the Special Prosecutor should be scrapped? Because that office was established by a president who believed that in his mind, the only means to which we can win the war against corruption or we can investigate corruption is to establish an Office of the Special Prosecutor. When he established it, when he mooted the idea, yes, it went to Parliament for Parliament to do what? Rectify it. After that, the office was what? Institutionalized. What happened? He appointed the revered Martin Amidu to occupy the position as the special prosecutor. But we all were told by Martin Amidu, based on his integrity and his beliefs and his conviction, that in as much as the office wasn't resourced and he was trying to perform his duties, there were a lot of obstacles, external hands that were at play that is making his office very dysfunctional. And at a point, he even announced to us the one who instituted the office, who placed him there, he himself is an obstacle in the performance of his duty, and tagged him the mother of all serpents. When he was exiting, then came Kisi Ajabin. And Kisi Ajabin is also a known allied, a known friend of key stakeholders within the NPP fraternity. And when he was appointed, he got all the resources to operate. To the fact that I'm being told he drives even a bulletproof car. So in as much as we've been able to equip him, revamp him, and give him the resources to operate, how many cases has he been able to prosecute so far? How much has he been able to recoup to us as a state? How many people have he been able to put behind bars with punitive punishment, extreme and excessive deterrent punishment, that we can be able to use that as a justification that the office needs to be kept and Kisi Ajabin needs to be kept at post? I am not only calling for the removal of Kisi Ajabin, I'm calling for the absolute scrapping of the office of the special prosecutor, so that we can have a synchronized way of fighting what? Corruption. We can have a single way of empowering state institutions to fight corruption. So in the clear case of SML, why have we been able to belittle ourselves as a country, that we educate ourselves, get to the PhD level, do the master's degree, get to the professorship level, do everything we can, but we are still telling ourselves, admittedly, that we cannot do anything to manage any state institution, bring about any form of innovation to enhance performance, enhance output, generate revenue based on our own institutional capacity building. And therefore, we must always get a third-party contractor to perform any service on our behalf, when in most cases, those service contractors are not injecting sufficient liquidity into the operation of the existing institutions. They only come under the disguise of being consultants, providing some proposals, and letting you know that, oh, there are some loopholes here, there are some loopholes here, we can be able to curtail it. But when they come, don't forget that they are not coming to wipe away all the people in those institutions. They are coming there to augment their work. They are coming there to support them work. They are coming there to meet the same existing structures that was operating before they were brought in. So why should we, in the first place, think about bringing in a third party to enhance our domestic revenue mobilization in any form, shape, or size? That should tell you that we are not progressively thinking as a group of people who are ready to build institutional capacity. So now when you build institutional capacity, you put the right structures and systems in place, adopt all innovative technologies, then you can be able to beat your chest and say that as a people, we've been able to enhance our domestic revenue mobilization from 20% to 30% or 50% based on our rigorous, laborious efforts and brain-taking decisions that we are putting in place to enhance our performance. So SML and the matters arising has always been in the public domain, that 1.2 billion Ghana cedis has been paid to SML already without any services done. That is the audit report for you. They are telling you that they have not brought anything necessarily onto the table. They came to the table virtually with empty hands, but they've already received 1.2 billion Ghana cedis. And if I give you a breakdown of what 1.2 billion Ghana cedi can do in today's Ghana, you appreciate it. So any attempt by Ken Ofori-Atta and his cohorts avoiding him coming to Ghana to face justice is a complete breach of responsibility that we've given to any public sector servant. Now, why am I saying so? Ken Ofori-Atta cannot just be extradited by OSP, because before you can extradite somebody, it must be an existing docket. There must be an existing application by the court of law of this country that we are prosecuting this person for crime A, for crime B, but now he has absconded. and then you issue a warrant of arrest for such a person. If the issue of the warrant of arrest is triggered, that is the only way you can get to a stage where the jurisdiction in which the person is residing, their court also have to receive the document and look at it and see whether there are merits of it. If there are merits of the docket that they've received, then they will now trigger the process to extradite that individual to you.
Right.
That is why Attorney General at some point said they were requesting for the docket from OSP to trigger that process. But OSP is not cooperating. So therefore, they have not received that docket. Right. So it is in absolute contrast of what OSP is telling us today, that he wants to take up the responsibility of prosecuting Kero Furiata in absentia. So if you prosecute him in absentia and you secure a judgment and he has been convicted that he has used his office to enrich himself, therefore he's supposed to serve a prison term of 13 years. Would that amount to him being brought to Ghana? Would that amount to it? Just like we have said in Natamaklo, which was also a sentence in absentia, up to today, she hasn't come. It is not that we have been told by the Attorney General Department that they are triggering the process to extradite her. So, in a nutshell, we are of the view that if Keno Furiata knew in his heart of heart that he hold his office duties as a public servant of the state in all honesty, in all integrity, and in all fairness, and his integrity has not been compromised in any way, why would he be avoiding accountability? Why would he be avoiding accountability? Because I always made this case that even Jesus Christ himself, that Keno Furiata, tells us that he believes in him so much that he comes to Parliament and quote biblical verses for us, as if he is the next in line to follow Jesus Christ of Nazareth. Didn't he know that when Jesus Christ himself was accused by the Pharisees, that he was preaching all manner of blasphemy and all these things, and they were sorting after him? Didn't he own up for accountability? Even though he knew what was ahead of him. So if Keno Furiata sincerely believes he believes in Jesus Christ, for which reason he was hoodwinking us to believing that he is the one who knows all the biblical verses in this country, then he should willingly, voluntarily come back to Ghana and face the court of the country, so that we can investigate you. If your hands are clean, we acquit you and discharge you. But if your hands are not clean, then the law takes its own course. So in a nutshell, to say, I am of the view, candid view, that the office has to be scrapped, National Investigative Bureau has to be rejuvenated, has to be equipped, so that we know that they are the ones responsible for combating corruption and investigating all corruption. They can also have journalists within their midst, journalists who have been trained into investigative journalism to augment their work. And then the last bit, why are we not winning the war against corruption? We are not winning the war against corruption, and we might not win it any day soon.
I'll come back to you for you to complete that particular statement. But another question that I want to ask you, Honorable, which I expect you to answer for me after I break, is that there's been calls for a parliamentary inquiry to be initiated. But then what really will be the difference between that and the ongoing criminal investigation? Okay, so I'll let you to ponder over this. And when we come out from the break, inquiry into the... Exactly, but I just want to find out what difference will it make, you know, looking at what is happening now in the criminal investigation. So kindly ponder over that. When I come up from the break, you can kindly help me understand that, because I want us to educate ourselves. Thank you. So don't worry, we're still here on Inside Pages, and we are talking Ken Ofori-Atta, the former finance minister, who is now being, you know, wanted by the OSP. He tagged that as at large. You know, when we come up from the break, we'll be asking some questions and seeing some answers here on the program. Don't go anywhere, stay with us here. We'll be back.
Ebusiafo ye mama kwaba eba Children's Palace. Nkwala nyema nyina fie enye. Yon nkwala ntade mane mema nyina ntare nyina wa say ye nkwala shoes ye nkwala duane ye nkwala wipes nkwala diapers nkwala toys baby coat in fact bibia opama o manyina obenye bi wa ase
Located at East Legon Hills, Nana Chrome KFC. Contact us on 059-6377-172. Children's Palace. Happy children, happy fashion. See you soon. Bye-bye.
Chechi woni nara mi din ejebe hidapa me dia de sonko kra na ebremo nya ode to aduane mu ama waduane edepa na me de bremo eno any some spices de emu wa wo bebre o various flavors ubenya eya akoko ubenya nantwie yedi ku jollof mu ma emu yede ubenya yedi ku nkwan yedi ku froye mu ho na ko pebito na ema waduane enye de unyiminia yenkon tie nyankofo eka
Autant de communication, ni enjoy Oduba, that Samu spices. One in the essence, don't fight. I'm taking the Dariaga. Samu spices in a BTA, daddy so say. Samu spices, Mun Samu.
Samu spices, Nyama chicken.
Samu spices. In Sanaka in Kitswa, mixture 10 grams. Your chicken, spaghetti, garlic and ginger, stew, can jollof, any flavors. Alpha bebre.
Samu spices. Yes, Saka.
FDIJ jadien krato yatum.
Kwame and his uncle are almost here.
Wait a minute. This one too, your friend Kwame.
Wait, Kwame. As in the same Kwame again?
Yes, Mommy.
I'm the second coming. Into all this tension, just to reintroduce that broke boy from Kaswa.
Why would you deceive the family like this again?
Now I understand the whole delay. Troll from Kaswa, dear. Why wouldn't he be late? Or be late?
Of course.
Star 712 hash, star 712 hash. Go be the luckiest, go be from Georgia be luckiest, from not the cause she be luckiest. Yeah, you go be luckiest. No better why you luckiest. Everybody go be the luckiest.
That's Kwame. Send your goddamn for boom. If you put it to so would the coming of the son of man be. Is that his car? Ha! Even now, your shadow the way designer.
I use my own mouth to reject him. Oh, this is my mouth. Look at that.
Kwame, my son. Now, tell me the truth. How did this all happen?
Oh, Mommy, a simple dilation. Mr. Good Luck no check me well.
Yeah,
Mom.
Easy car. Or dial star 712 hash.
The devil is a liar.
He picked his ticket and entered his lucky 5-digit number.
I'm his birthday.
Oh, how romantic.
And he followed the prompts. Yes. And then boom, confirmation test.
One quick, pick 5 numbers for me, okay? I'm feeling like 7.
Dial star 712 hash. Choose your ticket. Enter your lucky number. Follow the prompt and let destiny handle the
You see how they love you now?
Yo, baby, our family payment seminar. Before December, may release a motivation album. Patapa, my super.
This promotion is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas platform.
Oh, Jose, and I made the SMS. Cannon pan, na sana, Monsieur, na ward me. A drain I didn't quano. Kingdom Garlic Bitters. No, benefit him. Me benefit wine. Also, got told dear.
Abrewa, the smile, Abrente, Mishuve. One antique crown our bread. No Kingdom Garlic Bitters, and any capsules. Nanya, what ya brebia.
Kingdom Garlic Bitters, and the capsules.
Assembly,
a devil when Amawani, I say, send your name, my wife, complain one personal. Kingdom Ginseng Power Capsules, and tea. Say, see, I'm
Kingdom Ginseng Power Capsules. Emeni Chienya Sumdie Befi, Abrebia.
Obebia o de pua haw no. Edro ba kupa wo hia ne tremendous capsules. Tremendous capsules esiesie wo ma wo ye obesima. Enro yi wo benya bi wo baabi ayeton nro bia. Kingdom Herbal, no challenger.
Welcome back, and thank you for staying with us here on the program. I'm still here with two of my guests. One, a member of the NDC and also a member of Parliament for Sisala North Constituency. Honorable Sisala East, I beg your pardon. Honorable Bataglia Issa Mohammed, and also my very good friend Richard, who is the Deputy General Secretary of the United Party, all here in the studio. Now, before we went for the break, I posed two questions. One, I mean, Richard was speaking about corruption and how we are lacking behind when it comes to the fight. But I wanted Honorable to answer this question for me, and then I can go back to Richard to answer that. I asked you that there's been a number of people saying that there should be a parliamentary inquiry into this. But what really will be the difference between that and the criminal investigations currently ongoing by the OSP?
Well, Bright, I think that the question you asked, we live in a democracy, and people will want to share their views as regarding how they think issues should be handled. But largely, I want to align myself with the thoughts of Richard. People normally, clearly we all know that even though the Constitution mandates Parliament to be in charge of lawmaking, part of the responsibility of Parliament is also to become an oversight, to have oversight responsibilities. By so, some people think that once Parliament serves as the representative of the people, because every group of persons is being represented in Parliament. So if we have a parliamentary inquiry, we'll try to see that we have a representative house representing both sides and thoughts. But the truth of the matter is that I think that sometimes we will also be overburdening Parliament too much with some kind of with this kind of request or demands. I think that we should strictly go with the criminal investigation, because this thing bordered largely on criminality and the flouting of our laws.
Absolutely.
And I think that we should not waste Parliament's time trying to form another inquiry to go and create debates around the table, take some months to be able to write reports, come and no. We know even those kind of committees have powers of the High Court, where they can say subpoena somebody, ask him to produce documentation and appear before. But with that said, I still think that no, let's go with this kind of criminal investigation. We should try to make this highly unattractive to many people who are serving in public offices. It's not just about Ken Oforiatta or the cohorts. It's not also about me sitting down here talking about. It's about every Ghanaian willing and prepared to take a public office. You are enjoined by the Constitution to live a particular life. If you go contrary to the Constitution, I think they should allow the law to take its course. And I agree with him that because once there are bodies established to be able to deal with these issues, why don't we try to make sure that we build those kind of stronger institutions? We are here. Obama came all the way from US to come and tell us that let's build stronger institutions as against what strong individuals. Let's try to make sure that we don't duplicate efforts. And that's what we are good at doing. In this country, we have, even if you go combing through the laws, we have all the laws, we have all the bodies, but implementation is the problem. People can quickly run and hide behind a cloth of what? Politics. Hide the cloth of tribe. Hide the cloth behind the cloth of what? A religion. And they get away with things they do against us as a people. Because, trust me, if our leaders, all of us sitting around this table, if we are prepared to do things right in this country, we won't go anywhere begging. I've always said it that we've been endowed by almost everything by God. One thing we are lacking to make our life better is the attitude. And we should be able to force that attitude into Ghanaians. Let me tell you, this is a country where even when it rains, we have so much water that we have to spill over Akosombo. When it stops raining for 3 months, they are telling us that there's no water in Akosombo. They have to turn off some of the tibers and we sleep in darkness. It has to do more about attitude. It has to do more about law enforcement. It has to do with people accepting responsibility and not allow politics cloud our thinking. For me, I think that time has come. Because today, if you go to the hospital and you do not find a bed, if you cannot find a simple infusion, just know that somebody's conduct brought about that. But you know, sometimes our culture and the way we are brought up, even if the writing is being said, people think that you are being arrogant. But no, look at what is happening.
Right. Let me have Richard coming in. We can move on to our next conversation. Now, the alleged loss is reported at about 1.4 billion Ghana cedi. First of all, what is the impact on the Ghanaian budget? I mean, the finance minister just read the budget a few days ago, and hopefully, if this money was to be in the system, it could have gone a long way to help a lot of things. But tell me, I mean, as a politician, what was the level of impact that this loss has on the budget?
Well, you see, Ghana, our challenges are very grievous. And if you look at our cash flow, our revenue streams, I've always maintained that Ghana is still not doing well. We may be praising ourselves, yes, NDC is making a conscious effort to detach from the status quo of doing business in this country. They are trying hard to build back the trust that people had once upon a time lost completely in politicians. They are trying hard to stay above the waters and not to muddy the grounds and get themselves involved into major scandals. So far, they've been trying to manage themselves very well. And the president is re-echoing it to them each and every moment that he gets, that he is not ready to jeopardize this second opportunity granted him to remedy the damage that Bawumia created, that he caused him to lose the election because he branded him incompetent. And I'm sure he's vividly working towards remedying his name and making sure that he leaves a legacy that posterity will remember him for. But if you look at 1.2 billion Ghana cedis, let me tell you.
Actually, 1.4.
1.4 billion.
Yes,
we have been proposing that Ghana
for now, it's alleged, right? It's
alleged. Yes, there's no smoke without fire. Once you see the smoke, you should know that there is some fire somewhere, whether it's electronic or what, there is some fire. We from the United Party have been advocating that we need to have an enterprise economy that will be growing and focusing on manufacturing, focusing on building domestic businesses, deliberately targeting indigenous businesses, moving them from growth, moving them from introduction stage to growth stage to maturity stage, and making sure that we use them as a conduit for job creation. So assuming without admitting that government of the day says that every region in this country, we are identifying 1,000 businesses at various levels of growth. You know, in Ghana, there are some people, the costume you are wearing so nicely is made by a Ghanaian. Okay? There are some people who are doing shoes, people are doing watches, people are doing belts, people are doing various number of things. People are into agro business, producing small things here and there, packaging small things here and there. All they need is a direct capital liquidation, direct capital access into their business. So, Bright, assuming that every company that is doing so well or at a startup level and has the tendency to grow, a government says that we are capitalizing each of you by 50,000 Ghana cedis with a small interest margin of about, let's say, 1% or 2%. They are not giving the monies to them directly through Maslock and all these mushroom political agencies. They are giving the money to rural banks. They are giving banks to the kind of banking Undum was deploring, taking banking to the doorsteps of the people, okay? You give the money to this institution, they identify the businesses, they take them through the coaching, the mentoring, and everything, okay? And you give all of them 50,000 cedis. I heard you say your wife is into showing what you are wearing. Assuming without admitting
that was off record.
But I need to say it. You have to promote the business because what you are wearing is good. Why are you not trying to say it on record? Because what you are wearing is good. Imagine your wife gets a capital injection of 50,000 Ghana cedis. Do you know what that can do for her? So if you multiply 50,000 Ghana cedis, right, by 20,000 businesses across the length of this country, do you know how much you would have spent? You would have spent just 1 billion Ghana cedis. 1 billion. So if we have the tendency and the appetite for wasting 1.4 billion. 1.4 billion could have directly capitalized at least over 20,000 of your indigenous businesses in an attempt to grow them, prosper them, so that if 20,000 businesses are capitalized, assuming the one who sold the dress for you has only one person employed, and you get a capital injection of 50,000, buy some 1 or 2 equipment, do some few expansion, do some marketing, promotion, position yourself very well, for that you can even export what you are producing. Don't you think the person has to employ additional hand or 1 or 2 hands more? So if you deliberately target 20,000 companies and capitalize them, and everybody gets two more hands to augment their work, have you not created 40,000 jobs outright? Have you not? So it is about misplaced priority as a country. We don't have our scale of preferences right. We don't know how to build the synergy. We don't know how to synchronize anything. So we constantly do things ad hoc. So for this issue to be called by public that the parliament should look at it, what business has parliament got to do with an issue of Kenoforiata? Parliament has plethora of issues that is bothering us, that we have not found head and tail of it yet. And now what capacity do they have? What investigative capacity does Parliament have to look into Kenoforiata's issue? Like I am saying, I would have been glad enough to be hearing the role National Investigation Bureau is playing as far as this man's issue is concerned. But how many times often have you heard the National Investigative Bureau mention in this issue, or mention in an attempt to prosecute Kenoforiata, to have justification document to suggest that he was actually culprit in this scandal that has engulfed us as a country and has siphoned our country and depleted our resources by 1.4 billion Ghana cedis for no work done. So I was about to land on the last point that the reason why we are not winning the war against corruption, and we may never win it any day soon, is that there are several quid pro quo activities that is happening within our political architecture, where people are doing things to others in order to turn back and gain favors from them. Therefore, we are not able to stand our ground, to be able to look into each other's eye and say to us that we are not winning the war unless we change the status quo, where a government can say that I'm not going to pamper you, for that you, when you get the power, you also come and pamper me. So with these quid pro quo activities that has shredded the entire country, that everybody has an underlying activity they are doing in order to please the interest of one or the other, to get unfavored favors from all these activities. How are we working to make progress? So the last point is that we are not winning because the burden of proof. Do you know, if I'm accused today that I'm living an ostentatious lifestyle, that there's a suspicion that my income or my cash flow does not just topple my expenditure lines, do you know that the burden of proof is on the state to prove beyond unreasonable doubt that I received the money that I'm spending left, right, front, center, I got it through ill means? But in China, the model is not like that. The model is the burden of proof lies on the accused, not the accuser. So if in China you have been accused of corruption, that you've received some undue favors, you've gotten some ill wealth through corruption, and you have been found, the burden of proof lies on you, the accused, to justify beyond all unreasonable doubt the money you got it through legitimate means. But in our case, the burden of proof is always on what? On the accuser. That is why the Cecilia Dapa case, for instance, you know that up to now we've not been able to get a headway to the case. Why? Because the burden of proof lies on the office of what? The Attorney General, to prove it that Cecilia Dapa's money is ill-gotten wealth. But up to now, because they don't have the sufficient evidence to justify the fact that maybe she was involved in any illegal activity, that is why she's been left off the hook.
Right.
So we need to look at our laws, look at how we can synchronize those who are fighting corruption, look at how we can vest so much power in them, and we can even decouple the office of the Attorney General from the Minister of what? Justice. So that you know that whoever is an Attorney General is not going to be appointed by what? By the President. The Attorney General will be a public servant position or a public service that will go through the hierarchy and be able to get to the state where that person can become what? The chief prosecutor of the state. That is the only way we can win the war against corruption. But if the system remains the same, I beg to differ.
I was going to skip to the next conversation, but let me stay on this for a while. Forgive me. Now, I think there's a session where we are not focusing much on the effect such a case may have on Ghana and its international partners, especially investors. And since you are on the Trade Committee in Parliament, I mean, give me a fair understanding how bad how bad of a look this may create for us as a country.
It's in twofold. This is just a local company. It's a local company formed. SMA is a local company. So it is about how we transact our businesses here in this country.
Internal.
It's an internal issue. And you asked a very wonderful question about what 1.4 billion can do for us. In 2026 budget, the government is intending to construct agricultural enclave roads of 1,000 kilometers and allocated 828 million Ghana cedi. Do you know what that can do? The 1.4 billion can bring close to 2,000 in addition to this. We are talking about Farmer Services Center. I am coming from a rural area where agriculture is our main activity. 690 million Ghana cedis been allocated to construct or to establish 50 farmer service centers and there's a district involved in farming. Because the government could not raise money immediately to do everything. 1.5 billion, 1.4 billion could have added twice that number to make sure that we put everybody to work. And you know what it means? To be able to open up our economy, we should be able to create infrastructure for us to be able to move goods and services.
Right.
That means a lot. So to me, I think that this is something that we have to make sure that any other person, even be it a penny, we should try as much as possible to get people to be accountable. It is not that they are basic. No. It's not about witch hunting. No. In fact, if you are a witch and should be hunted, it should hunt you. And that's what I think. So all those who are involved in this, I am surprised. Like before, I used to think that Honorable Adongo was hard on him by giving the Piccadilly story. But clearly it has come to play. All the beautiful quotations just ended up nothing, apart from the suffering in this country. And we think that it's not good enough. He should show that to dignify the politician by making sure that whatever we say, we live up to it. This is our country, and that's the only place we can make better, and not in other country.
We have less than 30 minutes to go, if I'm correct. So let's use that time to speak about President Mohammed's resolve to sign the anti-LGBTQ legislation if Parliament, deliberates on it and submit it to him. He says he's going to sign it. First of all, what message does it send to you, Richard? Let me ask you this first.
Well, it is no news. It is no news, knowing the Muhammad that we all know and his religious and Christian beliefs and values and how he tried to steady the mood of the people and know what exactly the people want and try to align himself with that.
Sorry to catch you, but I would want you to put your answer in this context. The fact that during the elections there was a big conversation whether they were going to sign, or even remember how the Akufo administration were, giving pressure to sign it and whatnot. And so when the NDC took over, one of the big conversations, even we saw a video of Honorable Afenyo Market in Parliament saying that it is difficult for the NDC to pass it, and that it's not even an easy task for them to discuss LGBTQ in Parliament and all that. And so the government should be able to deal with it. And now he's come out to say that when it's presented to him, he's going to sign it. First of all, does it put the matter to rest, the position as a president to rest? And also, you can continue with your answer.
Yes, it has put it to rest explicitly, putting it to rest. There's no ambiguity about that. Unlike when Nana Akufo-Addo was asked, and he said he played around it with all manner of semantics, and said when he gets to him, that people are not pushing enough. He said all manner of things. And because of our dependence on the West, and because of the fact that we are still doing things like what Kwame Nkrumah predicted to you, that the new colonialism, they will come in different forms with AIDS and all these things, and they will come again to colonialize you in various forms, shapes, and sizes. So you know that this issue didn't start from Akufo-Addo's time when President Mills was there. You remember UK or somebody gave him a condition that the only way they could support Ghana for us to do what? Support this LGBTQ nonsense, excuse me to say. And he told them clear in their mind that if it's going to take that for them to give him aid, then he prefers not to get the aid at all. So it only got to Nana Akufo-Addo's turn when it became a good debate, because that debate is worthy of it. You understand? Because you see, the society we live in is losing its moral fiber. And we've all understood that there's a natural means of doing certain things, that even animals who we think that we are above them, we are superior animals, the animals themselves, we don't see a female and a female animal trying to get any kind of romance among themselves.
Right.
You don't get a male animal and a male animal trying to get any intercourse among themselves. So if you think you are intelligent enough to then now come and say that for human rights and for the sake of human rights, people should have the right to sleep with their fellow men, or to have any intimacy with fellow women, or to sleep with animals, or to do all manner of rubbish in the name of human rights, then we are going into complete abyss as a people. Because you see, generation that is coming after you, when Kwame Nkrumah and co were fighting for the independence of Ghana, respectfully, the three of us seated on this table today, we were not born. Okay? But we have lived to meet this day when me and my senior brother and yourself will be seated on national television to contribute our quota to the national discourse. So that should tell you that a newer generation is coming after us. So if we entertain any form of these things, then that means we are completely going to break down that fiber. That is why I am surprised that the National Christian Council had the opportunity to meet with the president, and all they could talk about or ask him is about him to continue the National Cathedral project. What a pity. What a pity. So I sincerely believe that if the 8th Parliament, is it the 8th Parliament or the 9th one? If the 9th Parliament takes a critical look at it again and make the necessary amendments and feel it is prudent for it to be transmitted to the president, and the president has given us full assurance that he will append his signature to it or assent his signature to make it into a law, then I'm all for it. My only challenge about that bit of the law is about the custodian sentencing. I am totally in disagreement with it. In total disagreement. Because you see, we have nature and nurture. The nature of somebody is embedded in him. No matter where you take him to, that is his nature. And any environment he finds himself, he will try to demonstrate his nature and infest what his nature is into his immediate environment. The nurturing is about how you are brought up, how you are groomed, how you are cultivated, how you are reshaped. So I am of the view that if anybody is caught in that act of that manner, they should be given non-custodial sentences. They should be given electronic anklets. They should be branded. They should be displayed in public spaces where people can really identify them and know that these are people who have been involved in this, and they are the ones who are trying to spoil our society. So at least we can be able to disassociate ourselves with them. But the moment you arrest them and take them to prison and go and be feeding them again at the prison, are you going or you are coming?
I mean, that was actually my next question to Honorable Battaglia here. I mean, I keep coming to you with the economic side of everything because, I mean, I know your background. So I'm asking, if any, what course could the country incur, you know, in pursuing probably punishment or penalties, and how can resources be allocated to such things? I mean, as much as we look at these things, we should also look at the money side of it.
Yeah, right. I think that has been the argument, even in the last parliament. I think somewhere February 2024, this thing came into parliament through the private members' bill.
Right.
And has been debated strongly to the extent that it's been passed. We were already hoping that at that time the president will accent his signature as per Article 106. But he actually delayed, or he declined, because he indicated that the issues were in court. There were some two issues, one led by Richard Sky in court, and that's actually what kept me. That's why I couldn't sign it. But this issue would have been nipped in the bud had he signed that a bill into what? A law. But today we are back here. This has become very topical. But the issue about us getting so worried about economic implications, my question is, the way the world is moving, do you think continuously we can rely on this economic support? Africa should begin to think. I said that Africa is sitting on about 60% arable land of the world.
I mean, that is factual anyways.
Yes.
That's a fact.
That's the point. So we are about 54 to 55 countries. Now we are beginning to think about African continental free trade area. That if we are able to come together, we will trade among 1.4 billion people. We can harness on our comparative advantages and make life better for ourselves. Clearly, we got Trump came within 3 months. He canceled most of the aid that we were getting through USA and many other companies, NGOs that were working here, or organizations that were working here. All of them folded up and went.
Right.
So, as it is now, to me, I think that let's take the bull by the horns. As people, I said that. Do we always say that God made a mistake by making us Africans? Are we saying that it is just by chance that we've been given a culture? Are we saying that creating us as a communal individual, not individualistic individual, that I think growing up, even me with my young age, growing up in Tumu, the community was just overseeing who I am. Because it was not, it didn't take my father or my mother or my brother to discipline me. If I was going astray, anybody within the community could put me right. That's how we are. That's who we are. I made this point somewhere some time ago.
Can you hold on to that thought? I'll come back to you to wrap up. But I'm told that we have to go and pay homage to our sponsors, just so they didn't take us off air. So please, let's do that quickly. When we come back, Honorable Bataglia will continue, and I have Richard coming quickly, and then we wrap up. Thank you. Stay with us. We'll be back.
I'm a brand manager. Of course, I accept only quality and affordable printed souvenirs for my promotional campaigns.
I'm the head of academic affairs of a very important institution in Ghana. Of course, we only deal with quality, reliable printing companies for our institution's printing materials. I'm talking about appointed time printing.
Appointed Time Printings. We take pride in our extensive print scope that transform your ideas into captivating visual masterpieces. We delve into the core objectives and vision of each print project. Precision printing is at the heart of our printing process as we meet your tight deadlines. Our rigorous inspection, color verification, and overall printing excellence are assured. 20 years of printing excellence. It's always a pleasure working with you to create a vibrant, dazzling printing experience that gives you a masterpiece. Appointed Time Printing, your world of quality and affordable printing.
Kwame and his uncle are almost here.
Wait a minute. This one too, your friend Kwame.
Wait, Kwame. As in the same Kwame again?
Yes, Mommy.
I'm the second coming. Into all this tension just to reintroduce that broke boy from Kaswa.
Why would you deceive the family like this again?
Now I understand the whole delay. Trow from Kaswa, dear. Why wouldn't he be late? Or be later?
Of course.
Star 712 hash, star 712 hash. You go feel the luckiest. Go feel from Georgia be luckiest. From not the cause she be luckiest. Yeah, you go feel be luckiest. No matter why you're luckiest. Everybody go be that luckiest.
That's Kwame!
Send your God down for boom. If you put it at all, so would the coming of the Son of Man be. Is that his car?
Ha! Even now, your shadow the way designer.
I use my own mouth to reject him. Oh, this is my mouth. Look at that.
Kwame, my son. Now, tell me the truth. How did this all happen?
Oh, Mommy, Simple direction. Mr. Good Luck no check me way.
Yeah, man. Easy car. Or dial star 712 hash.
The devil is a liar.
He picked his ticket and entered his lucky 5-digit number.
How much baby?
Oh, how romantic!
And he followed the prompt, yes. And then boom, confirmation test.
I'm quick. Pick 5 numbers for me, okay? I'm feeling like 7.
Dial star 712 hash. Choose your ticket. Enter your lucky number. Follow the prompt and let destiny handle the
You see how they love you now?
Yo, be your family Pemasimo. Before December, may release a motivational bomb. Patapa, my super.
This promotion is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas platform.
Oh, Jose, and I made the SMS. Can any pan, na sana, Monsieur, na what me? A drain I didn't quano, Kingdom Garlic Bitters. No, more benefit him. Me benefit wine. Also, what told dear?
Abrewa, the smile, our brand, Mishuve. Unantika crana wabre. No Kingdom Garlic Bitters, and any capsules, Nanya, what ya brebia. Kingdom Garlic Bitters, and the capsules. Assembia, you.
A devil when Ama when I say, send your name, wife, company one personal. Kingdom Ginseng Power Capsules, and tea. Say, see, I'm password.
Kingdom Ginseng Power Capsules. Emeni Chienya Sumdiebefi, Abrebia. Obebia o de pua hauno. Edro bakupa wihiane tremendous capsules. Tremendous capsules. Esiesie uma uye obesima. Edro yi ubenya bi obebia eton robia. Kingdom Herbal. No challenger.
Come back, and I've just been warned that I have less than 15 minutes to wrap up, so we are really going to be quick and brush through it. So Honorable was telling me about some doctors he's bringing to the country, so probably he can have about 2 minutes or 1 minute to talk about that. But let's go back to your submission quickly.
So I was saying that we are Africans, and clearly we have values that define who we are. We should be able to hold very firm to those values. Thankfully, the president has given an indication that he's more than prepared.
Yes.
To append his signature once it is passed. Like I said, we should not allow, we know as much as possible not to discriminate. But even the God that created us gave us some rules and regulations to abide by. Even before this, I think that if you look at our criminal code, for instance, if you look at the Act 29, Section 104, criminalized clearly the act of involving one and natural carnal knowledge. It's there in our laws. Only that we are further taking a step to make sure that nobody should propagate this. You should not propagate it to the extent that people are so emboldened to be able to incorporate this in our books for our children to learn. No, our culture is different. Let's learn as Africans and review our values and not just taking hook, line, and sinker somebody's values. No. And I think that based on sponsorship, that we'll never even get. Somebody says that they give you something with the right hand and take it back with the left hand. It doesn't really change. We've been collecting this is up to date. How far did they bring us? We are still there in the cycles and not moving out. When COVID hit, Ghanaians took upon themselves and improvised things, and we survived it. I am sure many other things will happen when we take it upon ourselves and make sure that we have to seal all the leakages by making sure that we limit corruption, we make sure that we cut our code according to our size. We are clear as people to be able to survive this.
I was going to ask you about the relationship between the president and civil society organizations that may oppose to the signature. But just actually answering that, they may end up giving you the thing with the right and take it back with the left.
That's how it will be. Because people have also been trained to be human rights lawyers. Definitely, they will express their views. Even in America, portions of America, there are places in America that disagree with this. So people will disagree. But the point is that the generality of us, we've been created as a people, and we should adore that. Thankfully, we don't do things to please people. This is a sovereign country. That this country, whatever that happens here resides in us as people. So we think that whatever that is good for us, I made a joke, somebody was saying that it's not for nothing that you and me, we dance to Phantom from whilst the white dance to the piano. Yes, because sometimes the Phantom from sounds so loud. must sound so loud in the ears of the white man. Meanwhile, the piano must sound so dull to you and me.
We may end up sleeping.
Exactly. So it's not for nothing. God created it that way. Why do we want to deviate? Because we think that 2 or 3 people think that their rights have been abused. No. So I am of the view, and I applaud the president for coming boldly. We used to be somebody dilly-dallying around it, could not go straight with it. The president said, I am more than prepared to sign this.
Who is that somebody?
The former president.
A very harmless question.
No, the former president. We also, when he was with BBC, he was going around it. He was making it look at the nature hotel. They should give it to posterity. He was giving those excuses. But I am telling you that this is a bold president that said that we are Ghanaians. Let's take the bull by the horn and handle issues as it's supposed to be.
Right. Let's wrap it up. Richard, a quick one. I mean, tell us how the UP is doing, and we can actually wrap up quickly with you.
Well, like I sincerely indicated about how the UP is doing in my preamble, we are here to stay. And the likes of me, I have not been an NPP member. I didn't break away from NPP to follow Alan, so I'm not a disgruntled person. I believe in the forthrightness of Alan. I believe in his persona. I believe in his integrity. I believe in his personality, and know very well within my heart of heart that if I should work hard or to support someone like Alan Kojo Kyerematen, he has the same qualities as today we are seeing in JM in terms of his persona. Alan Kojo Kyerematen has that same persona. So United Party...
You're comparing Alan to JM in personality? Is that what you're doing?
Yes. As affable as he is, as listening as he is, as accessible as he is. Because you see, leadership is about how you're able to align with your people, how you're able to bring yourself to the level of your people. Leadership is not about trying to place yourself above the people who actually put you there. It doesn't make sense.
Absolutely.
The kind of leadership that Nana Akufo-Addo gave us suggested that he himself woke up from bed one day and became a president.
Right.
Therefore, he wasn't just ready to align with us or to associate with us. He created a clear distinction that this is the president. He has to have his own chair. He has to have his own days. He has to have, he created that distinction, for which reason we believe that GM has departed completely from that and making the people feel like, yes, we have a leader that can really connect with us. Right. So as a united party, we are calling on all and sundry. We don't want the party to be looked like it's a breakout. Well, let me tell you, CPP broke away from GCPP to win New York independence. So nobody should say that Alan doesn't have a right to exit any party that it thinks that they have derailed from the core vision and the core values of that party. Alan was not born with an NPP membership in his hand from his mother's womb. He came to join the party, he worked for the party, he contributed his quota to the party, but at some point he believes that the systems and the structures of the party has completely been overridden and hijacked. Right. And therefore, based on conviction, he decided to step aside.
Right.
So if he step aside and he says he's forming a new political party, why not? Democracy is for all to participate in. The NDC is not afraid of any competition. They say that if a new party today comes and works so diligently and dislodge the new patriotic party and give them the kind of opposition they are anticipating, why not? They are all for it.
Right.
So we are only appealing to everybody who wants to join us to really come. We are open. We don't want to do politics of how much you are bringing on board, how much you have contributed to the party, and so forth and so on. So in a very nutshell of that, I believe that we are well positioned to become the centrist party. We say we want to build an entrepreneurial economy, an enterprise economy, where manufacturing, look at your budget. The budget, manufacturing grew at 3.2%.
Let's wrap up.
Agri grew at 6%. How do you run a country that you want to sign LGBTQ bill when you are growing at 3.2% at industries? Industry must be growing not anything less than 10%. Not anything less than 10%. We must zero all our focus on how we can make manufacturing sector be a key contributor to our GDP. That is the only way we can survive as a country.
Thank you, Richard.
I
give Richard 30 seconds, and I'll be consumed. Let me allow you to.
We are closing our time, and now it's not time to tell them.
Let me allow you to. Tell me what is happening across to see
or you have some things to do
about it. Doctors who are actually coming for the
I feel like people in Sisala know very well that for the past 15 years I have been engaged with this health outreach annually. Sometimes we do it biannually. Once again, Vetu Foundation team coming from US and Austria and Europe will be coming down to Ghana. They hope to arrive here on the 23rd, that will be Sunday, but I will be in Wa to receive them on the 24th because I have to put some issues in place. Mostly we divide the team to go to Otumu, Walambale, and also Wa. But based on the cases we have this time, we've brought some specialists who will be dealing with burns and other issues regarding plastic surgeries. And so the only facility that can support these operations will be in the Upper West Regional Hospital, that's in Wa. So we are going to station the people in Wa to get the people from other places to come for the support. And as we always do, we'll try as much as possible to keep faith with the people, get close with them. They know when we have donations to do in terms of medical equipment and supplies, we'll do that. Right. When we have technology exchange, where we even have the people right from in their stations in America and Austria, they exchange knowledge and technology with our people. All that we are doing for the past 15 years, and we will continue. This is even the time we can do it much more better. So I call all other people who are also having such similar challenges. I think we are bringing in this gynecologist too that will come. He's an IVF specialist. Okay. He'll be dealing with some other complex issues in the Upper West Regional Hospital. So this, I invite all people to come. It starts from 24th to somewhere 28th of this month.
Great. Richard, I didn't get the opportunity to talk about the LGBTQ. So you can just take a minute. Just a minute.
So, okay.
Are you giving me a minute or 2 minutes?
I saw the 9 months attack. I thought we could just have 1 minute on the budget. Okay. I thought we could have a minute on the budget, but since it's not part of the plan.
Let's just give me a quick one on the LGBTQ. You can.
Okay. Yeah. So, like I said on the LGBTQ issue, it is just to admonish the Christian Council that they are supposed to be the agents of change.
Right.
They are the ones who are supposed to make sure that the moral fiber of this society that is being depleted by all manner of cancerous activity that we are doing in this country that is affecting our children, affecting our homes, and affecting everybody around us. They should take up their responsibility and by educating. You know, the last time when they visited the president also admitted that we need a lot more education.
Right.
You see, you need to educate the people, especially from their informative ages, to let them understand what God frowns upon and what God doesn't frown upon. And anybody who is talking about human rights should forget it, because let me tell you, we are in this country where people have the right to eat what they want to eat, they have the right to drink what they want to drink, they have the right to smoke what they want to smoke, to do anything they want to do. But why are we not advocating that anybody who feels that he wants to sniff cocaine should be allowed to sniff cocaine? Because it is his human right. Why? You gave him the life. You didn't give him the life. So if he wants to destroy his own life by sniffing cocaine, what has that got to do with you? But why are we not advocating for such thing? Because we believe that it will destroy the society. Right. So once we are not prepared to advocate that all other vices in society should be promoted and encouraged, we shouldn't try to bring in anything about human rights as far as the LGBTQ is concerned. Parliament to expedite the process. Government had wanted to make it a government-sponsored bill, but we are still proposing that we should encourage more private member bill in Parliament. So with that one, we can do so many other things. Other than waiting for government to move to the bill, we should encourage more private member bills. So once I'm believing the Honorable for Medina, what is his name? Xavier Sosu is there, Sam George is there, with even the Dr. Mfojo of the NPP fraternity is also there. Moses, and I'm sure, I'm sure they are very passionate about this issue. Moses Afuama, right? Fuamoni, they are all passionate about this. So once we have these people who are head of various agencies and who are members of Parliament, who are still not wavering on their determination to win the war against this moral decay that is engulfing us as a country, we are fully in support of them. They should do it quickly. so that by early years of 2026, we can get this thing transmitted to the president for him to get it signed for us to make progress.
Right. Thank you so much, Richard. And so there's a message here from Zemu, one of our producers here at Metro TV. This is a happy birthday to Miss Satrina Ofusua Mafo, a staff of Nova Surgery Center at East Legon. May you live long to fulfill God's promises for your life whilst you age gracefully. From a special person to you, beautiful Satrina Ofusua Mafo. And Zemu is sending this, but he had his name. Okay, let me do it my own maths, as Annie used to say. And also, let me say a very good morning to Mr. Emmanuel Posu, who is at the Ghana Revenue Control Department. I mean, he's a friend of everybody here in the media. He's been watching. He said he's been enjoying the conversation actually. So yes, Emmanuel Posu. Okay. Good morning to you, sir. We are grateful. Okay. And so we are grateful for you to also join us here on the show. We've been here since 8 a.m. with some very good conversations. I'm really honored to have these gentlemen join me here in studio for that insightful conversation. And hopefully next week, Moro Audu should be back to be in his seat to give you all the latest happenings around the country. And I was joined here by Richard Suma, who is a Deputy General Secretary for United Party, UP, Ghana First. Right. And he came in yellow. Anytime they come here, they are in yellow all the time. My brother came with him. Before I forget, let me say a happy belated birthday to Hobson Adoye. He celebrated his birthday just about 2 days ago. Yes, I was speaking to
him. I had my 2 days ago.
Oh, then you share the same birthday.
Forgive me.
You share the same birthday with Hobson.
This is serious issue. My goodness, forgive me. Happy birthday to you too. Yes. Happy birthday to you too. Yes. And yes, oh my goodness, I think I have to appease him with a cow or something else. And so he also joined us here, Honorable Mohammed Issa Bataglia.
Bloom once said, "Our fingerprints don't fade from the lives we touch."
Nami Yejuma as a community nurse. Mokoe no me Yejuma na me shems. Yeshem kofu wolfi as nurses ye kama woni dru ye. Na me se motum zaba. Na me concept. Motum afa na me zaba.
Discover the unwavering dedication of Mrs. Biney as she shares her inspiring tale of resilience and transformation.
When I finished Form 5 and I wanted to do nursing, you know, somebody told me, nursing is all ye standard 4. We can't take, I mean, to me in school and now I was like, okay, and the best.
Don't miss the captivating story of Mrs. Araba Biney, a beacon of hope in Ghana's healthcare system.
I know that everything that you are, everything that you've achieved is a testament to how incredible that you are.
Oh, thank you. Oh my goodness, you feel surprised me.
Yeah. The PL Show is brought to you by Kel Charcoal, Kel 360 and Kel Kids Toothpaste.
Kel, happy smile.
Hello, my name is Kofi Oshridako. I'm the Director of Diaspora Affairs, Office of the President, Republic of Ghana. We're looking forward to something grand, something very spectacular, something mind-blowing that's going to happen between the 3rd and 5th of December. I don't know where you find yourself on earth, but we're endorsing one big event at the Diaspora Affairs Office. It's the Ghana Fest 2025 happening live in Den Haag, inside Holland. Tell your friends about it. It's going to be something very cultural. We're going to have this trade expo that's definitely going to blow your mind. Wherever you find yourself in Europe, there's only one spot for you, Den Haag. Let's do that together between the 3rd and 5th of December 2025. Ghana Fest Europe,
Live in Holland, Trade and Cultural Expo is organized by